Welcome to part 3, Not All Men Are Sly Foxes, multiple choice questions. In this part of the video, I am going to review the multiple choice questions provided because they are AP style questions, so we want to make sure that you guys are aware of what the question is answering so that you have the best chance to identify the best possible answer. So, in our assignment, when we scroll down to part 3, we do have the directions here. It is important for us to make sure that we do read the essay Not All Men Are Sly Foxes before we answer these multiple choice questions. That helps us to ensure that we have an understanding of the text before we can answer any kinds of questions about it. So once I click in here, it opens up the form. The directions that are written here are the same directions that you saw on the previous page. So the first thing that you should do is identify what section you're in. And if you notice, each one of these 4 questions is letting you know where in the text you can find the answer. And this is awesome because many of the exams that we've taken in 11th grade for English have referenced where you can find the answer in the text, right? When we took the Regents exam in January, we saw that the majority of the questions told us to go back to specific line numbers. When we took the SAT exam, we also saw that the questions told us to go back to specific line numbers. And on the AP exam as well, they do let you know what lines to access or to reference when you are answering specific questions, okay? So in paragraph 3, Brott most likely uses the nouns caregivers and nurturers in order to. So again, keywords, right? Noun is the name of a person, a place, a thing, or an idea. So he's telling us that, or the question rather is telling us that Brott uses the names caregiver and nurturers in order to do something. So here, I know that he's using diction, right? Because they're telling me specifically, look at these words that he's using. And I'm automatically assuming he could probably be using other words, but he's probably specifically using caregivers and nurturers for a reason. So why is it that he's using that phrase caregivers, right? That word means someone who cares for someone else. An ultra nurture, right? A nurturer is someone who helps to raise someone else. So why are they talking about taking care of other people? What would they be talking about? The next question in paragraph 4, the phrase a successful entrepreneur is parallel to which of the following? So we're talking about this phrase here. And when we talk about parallel, think of in geometry what parallel lines are, right? They're 2 lines that run next to each other and never meet, right? They're supposed to be very similar or exactly the same. So in English, when we talk about parallel structure, we're talking about the format or the way that it is written, right? We want to make sure that with parallel structure, it has a very similar format. So here, if they're talking about a successful entrepreneur, the first thing I might go into the text to do is go find out who are they talking about is a successful entrepreneur. I'm going to go back to read that sentence to make sure that I understand who and what a successful entrepreneur is. And then from there, I can determine, am I looking for a phrase that sounds similar to a successful entrepreneur, or am I looking for a phrase that's describing the individual who is a successful entrepreneur? So you'll have to go back to the text to identify what that is before you can figure out which of the two. Am I talking about, again, a successful entrepreneur, or am I talking about someone opposite, maybe, from the successful entrepreneur? So either the same or the exact opposite, but written in a similar format. Question 3 is in paragraph 8. The word nevertheless signals a shift from. So I'm looking at this word, nevertheless, right? And I know that it means similar to nonetheless, regardless, right? But it's telling me that there's a specific reason why the word nevertheless is there. And the reason is because there's a shift, right? And when I think of a shift, the thing that I automatically think of is a change, right? So a change in writing could be maybe before the use of the word nevertheless, they were talking about one thing, and then afterwards they switched to talk about something else. So I want to see what are they changing before, from beginning with nevertheless to then moving into and changing after nevertheless. And then with the last question, in the context, the ending line, let's finish the job, most likely refers to. Again, this question can actually help you with question number 6 in part 2. But essentially what this question is asking is, what does let's finish the job mean? What is the job that they're talking about? What is the job that we're supposed to be completing? Okay. I hope that the breakdown of these questions was very helpful. If you would like me to break down the answers as well, again, send me an email, reach out, anything that you guys need.